All right, good morning, everyone. Let's start with NASDAQ. Let's see. This is what I had from yesterday, so I just kind of want to see what it looks like. Damn, we really haven't moved much from yesterday. But it looks like this is good. It's bouncing, or it's right at this 2 hour demand zone and a 30-minute demand zone, which it bounced off of yesterday. Um, I think today what I'm gonna be trading, I can already see it's just this clear pre-market range breakout. It's a small breakout, or it's a small range, and we're right at the bottom. So we're either gonna bounce off of this, we're either gonna bounce off the bottom of the range, or we're gonna break past it. If we break past these lows, honestly, I think it'd be a clean short down to the 2 hour and this 1 hour zone. But in order for the market to make that short, um, it's gonna need good volume. But let me restart the charts, try to find newer zones. I mean, even this candle here does look like a 4 hour demand zone. I'm not gonna mark it though, since I already know that there is a 2 hour demand zone. So I'm gonna mark this 4 hour supply zone. Um, and then this 2 hour demand zone here that the market has been bouncing off of. This is crazy. They were just quiet. Move charts over a little. My bad. This is US. I'll do it when I look at US 30. Quash. This looks like a good 1 hour supply zone here. The market has been rejecting it. Damn, I might have to go down there and tell them something. I mean, this zone's not perfect. I don't like this price action on it. So I'm not sure if I'll mark it. Honestly, I'm probably going to mark this 10-minute supply zone here. Because that's really where the market rejected off of yesterday. Yeah, that looks cleaner. But it is a smooth 1 hour supply zone. Like on the 1 hour time frame is a clean rejection off of this 50% line. Okay. Down to the 90-minute time frame. Don't see much around this area here. I do like how the charts look. I do. I like this pre-market range here. I think if we get the breakout, I think it'd be a good breakout. Do we have any high impact news today? 23rd. It says we have high impact 10 a.m. news. So I mean that's eh. I feel like 10 a.m. is really like hit or miss. Most of the time the 10 a.m. news is not that crazy. But when it is crazy, it's good. And usually I don't mark up stacked zones like this, but I really like this 30-minute demand zone. I think it looks really clean. So I'm thinking if price gets below 530 or below 520, I think it'd be a good short. The trade would look something like this. Something like this. And then I'd just target a 1 to 2. Which I think would hit, because I think if we break past these lows, the next stop could be all the way down here. But again, I feel like in order for that to happen, we need a strong open with really good volume. Another thing that could happen is it could sweep. Yeah, it could sweep these lows over here and then completely reverse. So we could bounce off of this area. And if I take longs from this area, the trade would look something like this. And honestly, I would just target around 200 ticks. I think that'd be fine. But realistically, I think it would go up all the way up to the top of this range or this 1 hour supply zone and this 10-minute supply zone here that is rejected many times. But what I would like to, what I notice right now is just like, yes, it's a 2-hour demand zone that we keep bouncing off of. But even though we've bounced off of this demand zone here, we haven't really broken structure to the upside. You know, nothing like that has happened. It's mainly just been consolidation. So usually when I see this, I do expect a breakout. But I'm going to try not to expect anything and just go with the flow. That's what I'm going to try to do. Okay, I'm down to the 15-minute time frame. This looks like a really good 15-minute demand zone here. You think we'll manipulate up a little bit before coming down? Yeah, I could see that happening as well. I mean, I could see it going to the top over here and then rejecting this supply zone or these supply zones and then coming back down. I could see that happening as well. $10-minute time frame. I mean, there's a small 10-minute supply zone here in the middle of the range. And I think that's it for the zones. I mean, like, this could be a 10-minute demand zone here, but I don't like it. But I do like it because it bounced off of it. I'm going to mark it. It just sucks because the zones are stacked, so it looks nasty. But a zone is a zone, so I'm just going to mark it out. Okay, let's look at US 30. I think this is it for the zones on NASDAQ. Really, what I see on NASDAQ is this range here. And I'm either going to play the breakout, right? Or a reversal, or like a trade that goes back into the range. So something like this. So I see 4 things potentially happening. Okay, on US 30, this is what I had marked yesterday. Yesterday, I took the shorts off of this 45-minute and 3-hour supply zone, and we're rejecting it again. Also, this was the top of this range here. So, the markets look very bearish. Also, it looks like we're right at this 50% line of a 3-hour demand zone, which, I mean, it looks very strong. It looks like it's going to break past it. If we break past the 300s, honestly, I think it could short very, very low. I think it has a lot of room to go down if it continues to go down. Okay, let me restart the charts, though. And I'm going to go to the daily time frame. Now on the daily time frame, like I'm always just marking this daily demand zone here. I think we still could tap into this area. I mean, I don't know if we could do it today, but eventually, if the market pulls back, this will be a good area to target, or even for the market to bounce off from. Yeah. Okay, this looks like a good 4 hour supply zone here. I'm very impressed that US 30 looks like this. Usually, US 30 doesn't move much during pre market, so this is surprising. On the 3 hour time frame, we have this 3 hour supply zone. And then I did have this 3 hour demand zone here marked up. We're already breaking past it though. So if the market opens below 307, then the only way I would take shorts if I see something like that. If I see a retest and then it break down, then I would take shorts. Other than that though, like if the market opens up and it goes straight down, I'm most likely gonna miss it. Damn, this also looks like a 4 hour demand zone, but the 3 hour looks better. This also looks like a good 3 hour demand zone at the bottom. So if the shorts continue, I think it'd be a good target. This here also looks like could be a really good 2 hour supply zone. It's just too early to tell since the candle hasn't closed. So I'm not going to mark it out. Okay, but I will mark out this 1 hour since the candlestick closed. How far away is this? Okay, 150 points away. So we could definitely get up there once the market opens up. Down to the 90-minute time frame. This looks like a 90-minute supply zone, so I'm gonna mark it out. Down to the 45-minute. This is a clean 45-minute demand zone here. So I think if the shorts continue, this gonna be a really good target. This also looks like a 45-minute zone that got ran through. I want to see how it looks on the smaller time frame though. Damn, like I could mark this out, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. I was gonna leave it if on the 1 minute time frame it looked something like this, but it doesn't look like that. I'm gonna leave it. I think it's a clean zone. Even though it got ran through, I think if we tap into this area, we could bounce off of it. That's the only reason why I'm marking it. It's just for me to know that we could potentially bounce off of this area here. And then, like, I could mark this 45-minute supply zone here. It's just far away, though, so, like, I don't think I'm going to use it. Alright, let me fix my posture. Like, my posture's crazy right now. Bro, like, I feel my neck hurting. Okay. Let me back up from the screen a little bit. Okay, this looks like a clean 45-minute demand zone here. It's kind of pointless, but I'm gonna mark it. Okay, and I think that's really it. I'll check the smaller time frames, but oh gosh, I already marked out the main ones. Like, I have really good zones marked out. It's just like the main zone I was looking at is already getting ran through. So if I see like a candle closing below 305, this little line right here, the only way I would take shorts is only if I see something like that, like a retest. Because it could be an open where it just shoots straight down, and if that happens, I'm going to miss it for sure. But if I do miss it, I won't be too worried, because I have NASDAQ to look at. Okay, down to the 15-minute time frame. Okay, I'm going to stop drawing zones because there's not much. But what I'm thinking on US 30 is, obviously, if the market opens below 286 or below 300, then I'm going to be bearish, and I would expect shorts. The only way I would take shorts is if I see a retest, and then if I see it break back down to the downside. Another thing that could happen is we could bounce off of this area. If we bounce off of this area, it's kind of going to be hard to get like a really good entry. Kind of. I guess I would take longs only if I see something like that, right? If I see the break and retest, which I just think it's going to be hard because it's such a big zone. So I think if I do take longs, the entry is going to be above the whole zone. Then from there, I'll be sure. Like, yeah, we're definitely bouncing off of this area. And then if I take longs there, then I would target this 90-minute supply zone. Let's say I miss all of those moves and we just come up here to this 90-minute supply zone. Then, this looks like a 5-minute supply zone here. Let me just mark it out. From this 90-minute zone, I would either take shorts, and I think it'd be an easier entry for me since the zone is a bit more smaller. And then if the buyers are strong, then I would long this. So if it gets above 470, I would long it and target this 4-hour supply zone up here. I see the market going both ways today, but it's very bearish. I mean, US 30, like, usually it does not. I'm stuttering. Usually the market on US 30 does not move this much before it opens. So this is pretty impressive. Hopefully that doesn't mean that the market is starting to be slow today. If we look at NASDAQ, where's VWAP? Where's VWAP? Okay, so so it looks very choppy on VWAP, I would say. Especially if the market opens up and we stay around VWAP, it's just going to be hard to trade. So honestly, it might be a no trade day. It really depends on how the market opens up today. It needs to open out strong. And I need to go grocery shopping today, so it's like I don't want to wait till 10 a.m. for the market to start moving. And especially since I've had a really good week, I would kind of hate to like take 2 losses today because the market's not in my favor. So I think today, like, I'm not gonna wait around for a trade. If I see some weird stuff the first 30 minutes, then I'm gonna call it a day pretty quick. So it's really up to the opening. Hopefully it's a strong open. Now that I'm done marking out the zones, I'm just gonna do support and resistance. But yeah, I gotta go grocery shopping because of this winter storm. Is anyone scared of that? I think it starts Sunday or something. You never know. You never know. I'm like low key scared that the power is gonna turn off or something. So that's why I'm going grocery shopping, just in case. But I also think like it's not gonna be as bad where I am. But you never know. So it's like, you always gotta be prepared. But I know the people down south for sure most likely aren't as prepared as the people up here in New York. Like we got trucks salting the roads. I don't want to say 24/7, but like almost all the time here. So like the roads stay clean. But in like down south, I don't know if they have that down there. Hopefully, if they're expecting what I think it was like 3 inches of snow or something crazy. Is anyone scared for the storm? Yo, they always look this cute, or is it today a special occasion? Sometimes I look rough. Sometimes I look rough. Today, though, I woke up a bit early and I'm awake, so maybe I look better. My forehead's also not out. Yo, my God, yesterday. I don't know, I think it was this morning. I got a comment on a video with my forehead out because I had my hair slicked yesterday. And they were like, oh, like, I didn't even notice it was you. I thought it was funny. But no, this my hair with no product. So it's like the complete opposite of yesterday. Yesterday I slapped on a bunch of gel. Today I have zero product in my hair. Which is probably why it looks so dry. What time is it? Okay, 5 more minutes for market open. Okay, this is US 30. Okay. US 30, like, usually I would say it looks bearish right now. Just because it kind of broke out this little pre-market range here. But I really won't take a short unless we get below 286 at this point. If we break the lows, then I'd be taking a short. Or if we get up here to this 90-minute zone and then we reject it, then I would take a short. I mean, but yeah, US 30 so far looks bearish. How long has it been since it touched up on VWAP? Okay, it's been a while since it touched up on VWAP, so. And it looks like it's bouncing off of these demand zones down here. So we'll see. And again, like the only way I would take longs off of this area, like it would have to be, normally it'd be something like that, like if I see that. I would take a long. But it's just, I don't know, it's kind of hard because this zone is huge. So if the market opens up and it shoots straight up, honestly, I might miss those longs on US 30. Yeah, and I think this is it for the white lines. Yeah. Okay, I can mark this one. Alright, yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna do too much. We'll see. I think NASDAQ looks a bit more better when it comes to zones. But it also just looks like we're chopping up on VWAP, which I don't like. And it looks like we're going to open up very close to VWAP. So I'm hoping that if the market opens up, that it shoots straight up or straight down. And then it breaks out somehow. But another thing that could happen is just it could be choppy. So we'll see. We got a minute and 40 seconds left. Let me see the Trump tracker. Okay, never mind. He doesn't have anything scheduled. So that's good. Yeah, close press. Okay, cool. To be honest, I'm in Queens right now. Not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous because I gotta go to work on Monday. Yeah, my girlfriend's nervous too. She told her boss if it's really bad, she's not gonna work on Monday. Wish you the best with all that snow. It's the main reason I left Connecticut. I moved to Florida for a while. Now I live in Cali. Damn. You got that good weather. But I think Florida is gonna be cold. I think. That's what the map showed. Have you guys seen like let me see if I could pull it up. Shit, I'm not gonna have time. The market opens. I'll show it later. If I remember. Yeah, here we are touching up on VWAP. Let's see if we reject it or push past it. US 30 looks so far like it's kind of bouncing off of this 3-hour demand zone. So we'll see if it actually pushes up. If it pushes up, I really won't take a long unless we see some sort of retest, which we might not. If we miss the longs, it's fine, because then we'll go up to this 90-minute supply zone. NASDAQ's on a 10-minute supply zone. But right now it's really at VWAP, so we'll see how this first candle closes out. Right now I'm kind of looking more at US 30. It's pushing down. Yeah, if this 1-minute candle here closes below 284, then I would short it. We'll see. Oh, If it closes out rejecting this area, it could also be a good long. Which, yeah, it's rejecting this area here. I want to see if it stays above this white line here. Above 326. Okay. That's not what I wanted to see for the longs. So, yeah. For the longs, I wanted to see at least that 1 minute candle close above the white line. Then from there, I would have been like, oh yeah, like this is holding up, good long. But, nope. I'm going to take shorts here on US 30. Put my stops at 313. I would say this is a risky play. Because not a 1 minute candle hasn't closed below 285. But I like how it came back up here and rejected this area. Okay, that's a really good candle close. $30 for this 5 minutes to close. I definitely want to see it close below 285. Okay, it closed right at that 50% line, so not the best candle close. And then my take profit is just at a 1 to 2. But we'll see. Because I definitely want to see it push. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to see. I think I'll get stopped out on this. I wanted to see those lows break, like, as soon as possible. Let's see if they break now. NASDAQ looks like it looks like it rejected VWAP, but it also looks very choppy. I mean, that first 5 minute candle has a huge wick. a continuation to the shorts on US30 like pretty soon. You know, I don't want to see it chop up here. I think it shouldn't struggle to move down if it really wants to go down. Two more minutes left for this 5-minute candle. I definitely want to see the 5-minute candle close below this white line here. So below 270. I'm also going to move my stop loss down to this 5-minute wick. So at 308. And on this last minute here, I want to see a continuation lower. I think if the candle closes out with a huge wick, it'll be a nasty fake out. Yeah, damn, we bounce off of this white line. Five more minutes for the 15-minute candle to close. I'm going to put my stops at break even. I don't want to see a bounce at this white line. It's touching up on the 200s, which could be a good area for it to bounce. It could be a good take profit, but like this 45-minute zone here, honestly, I think we should get at least to this 50% line. Yeah, I'm gonna get stopped break even and bounce off the 200s. Nasdaq's also bouncing. Nasdaq's nasty bounce right here. We'll see if it pushes out of VWAP. It's definitely struggling to do that so far. I'm gonna move my stops down to 251. Yeah, I don't know. The markets, I would say this isn't that much of a strong open. I think we've seen better openings this week, especially on NASDAQ. We'll see though. One more minute for the 15-minute candle to close. I think we're either gonna see a really good push down or just a reversal after this 15-minute candle. Yeah, I got stopped break even. I mean, like, I am bearish on US 30. It's just, it's not doing the move, you know? It could still push down. It's just since I'm a scalper, like, I need to see really good continuation quick. That's not happening today. At least not yet. I mean, things could change. I don't like the opening on NASDAQ either. I mean, how big is this opening range? 90 points. I feel like it could be better. Yeah, I'm definitely bearish on US 30. I still think it could go lower for sure. This could really just be a retest off of this area here. I don't know if I want to try another short though. You know, I don't think I do. Just because, like, I had a really good week and I told myself if I was going to take a trade, like, to be very picky with it. Yeah, this looks like it's just retesting this area. I think it would go lower. I don't know. I just don't want to try another short. Yeah, this looks like a retest. Nasdaq looks horrible though. I don't know. It's definitely struggling to break past VWAP. Yeah, I'm thinking about trading micros and like the commissions. I never really realized how bad the commissions were with micros until yesterday. Like I saw the difference. I think Wednesday, yeah, Wednesday I paid, or I didn't pay, but the market, the commissions were $200 with 5 micros. And then today it was like $65 on one contract with US 30. So huge difference. Huge difference. It's crazy too because I made more money with US 30, but I paid less commissions because it was one contract. Worth it to trade minis, accept the risk. Yeah, I just feel like with minis, you really, yeah, you have to accept the risk, just like you said. Like you need to be willing to either have a really tight stop loss or have a wider stop loss but just risk way more. Damn, there's a shorts. I feel like if it was a regular day, like I would have tried shorts again. But I told myself I was gonna be picky. So that's what I'm doing. This was the trade here. So we'll see if it would have hit TP. And honestly, if it gets down here, like, I wouldn't be looking to trade this 45-minute zone. I'm hoping since US 30 is going down that maybe NASDAQ would want to break down as well. That's what I'm kind of hoping happens. This makes me think about breaking even and how, I don't know. I don't want to call breaking even stupid because like it does save you money, but the stop loss thing gets you sometimes. Yeah, because this is a trade where it just break even didn't really make sense. It happens though. At least it's breaking out of the opening range. I mean, that's good. The trade was right. It was an early entry, not gonna lie. It's a very early entry. But the reason I entered early without basically without confirmation was just because this first 1 minute candle here like bounced off of the area. And I was like, okay, maybe it'd be a good long, but I wanted to wait for extra confirmation. And that extra confirmation would have been if the next candle closed out green and if it closed out above this white line. Then I would have taken long there. But what happened was, I think it was like the last 10 seconds of that 1 minute candle completely reversed and turned red. Once I saw that, I was like, okay, more momentum is going to the downside. So I took the short early. But damn, it's a slow trade. Not what I'm used to. Not what my usual winners are like either. Like usually I hit TP in less than 15 minutes. Today's just kind of tough. The volume's low on Nasdaq. Nasdaq's confused, doesn't know what she's doing. US 30 is great, but it's moving slow. It's moving slower than usual. So I think I'm gonna call it a day. I mean, if I've had a really good week, I really can't complain. Let me see if this is updated. Where is it? Yeah, we got next week. Okay, it says I made 1.1k, but in reality, it's just $56 times 20. Nothing crazy. We still did way better than last week. We took less trades this week, traded less days. No, we traded the same amount of days, but I took less trades and I made way more money than last week. And I could have made even more money on Tuesday if I didn't close it out at a 1-to-1. So I closed it out at a 1-to-1 because the price action was iffy. I feel like I would have closed it out at a 1-to-1 today as well, but I didn't want to. Okay, yeah. I don't think I would have hit TP here unless I trailed it really tight. Yeah, that would have sucked. If I was still in this trade and I hit TP just for that to happen. Like, it feels weird for me to call it a day here because it's not even 10 and I've only taken one trade, but I told myself this morning, and I've been telling myself ever since yesterday, don't do too much. You had a really good week. If you're going to take a trade, be picky with the trade. Part of me didn't want to trade today. And honestly, I think it's just because I'm thinking about money. It's like I had that fear of losing money today. And that's the main reason why I didn't want to trade today. Which sounds stupid because it's just like you have to risk your money to make it. But yeah, I also just don't want to risk money on this market. It could be waiting for 10 a.m., but like, I don't know. And honestly, this is an A+ setup, but the entry was a bit early. I feel like I got way too confident with the entry. I mean, still a really good trade, right? But if it was a loser, I'd be saying the opposite thing. Like, why did I enter early? Okay, yeah, let me journal this. What the heck? Like, why does it do that? We're gonna do it this way because I don't know how to change it unless it's here. No. I'm just gonna have to do it this way. Okay, 1 minute time frame screenshot. And then the 5-minute screenshot. Okay, I took shorts. I took shorts on. I can't even say after a 1 minute candle close below 50%. I really took shorts after. How do I explain that? After I was thinking longs and then it reversed. Okay, after. Took shorts on US30 after the market bounced off a 50% line on a 30-minute and 3-hour demand zone. The next The next 1-minute candle closed out with momentum to the downside. I took an early entry with no confirmation. Oh, but I did get confirmation like later on. I feel like I could have TP'd here, right? Like shoulda, coulda, woulda, but how many points was that? Damn, it was over a 1-to-1. Like I really could have, but I don't like 1-to-1s. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Took an early entry with no confirmation. Okay, yeah. I took an early entry with no confirmation. The market slowed down. I braked even. And the trade never hit 1-to-2. It was very close to hitting 1-to-2. I mean, if I held this trade, I would have been pissed to be that close and for it to reverse. That would have been tough. You know what? Now that I look at this, the entry actually could have been way sooner. The confirmation happened. I just didn't think it was confirmation. But the confirmation was right here. 1-minute candle close below this 50% line. Next candle opens up. It retests this 50% line. And then it breaks down. That could have been my entry. I think if that was my entry, I definitely would have hit TP2. Yeah, that would have hit. But it happened so quick, and I feel like I didn't see it at the time because of this next 50% line here. But damn, it did kind of work out. You know what? I wouldn't have taken it because of this price action over here. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. I don't know if I misread the markets or what, but I think it's a combination of both. You know, I read it right, but the market just didn't want to continue lower. And it looks like it's reversing. NASDAQ about to tap this supply zone up here. I think if NASDAQ gets above 750, I think it'd be a really clean long, at least up to 860. That's if it happens though. I mean, so far it is breaking outside of the opening range. We'll see if it actually continues though. The candlesticks also look a bit more stronger. They're closing out with bigger bodies, smaller wicks, which is a good sign. So hopefully that continues. But I think if NASDAQ comes back into the opening range, then from there I think it'd be not dangerous to trade, but not the best. We'll see though. Hopefully it actually bounces off of here. But I'm going to call it a day. I could wait, for another trade up here, but I honestly don't want to. I think I'm very attached to the P&L today. And really, it's just because I've had a green week. Just being honest. So, yeah. Let me bring this up. Yeah, and then now I'm only, what, $200 away from, what is it called? For the, oh my gosh, I'm like extra slow this morning. I'm $200 away from, geez, what do you call it? From the $2,600 balance. So the end of day starts. And you could see the difference on the distance to drawdown. Yesterday, the accounts that were at 2,600, the trailing drawdown definitely stopped because it's over 2,500. But on these other accounts that didn't reach 2,600, the drawdown definitely was affected because I didn't lose any money, but since I was in, I think it was like $300 of profit, then I basically lost that drawdown. So, yeah, that's why trailing drawdown is iffy, but we're almost there. We're almost over that, I don't even know what you call it. That, it's not even a level. We're almost that. Okay, I need to stop talking. I'm like way too lost here. We're almost over the trailing drawdown buffer. That's what I've been trying to say. Yes. Wow, look at NASDAQ. Like, this candle looks huge, but like, I feel like, I don't know. It's moving really good, so that's good. It's at this 1 hour supply zone. It looks very strong. It looks like we're gonna rip right through it. If it was a regular day, like, I would wait for another trade. I really would. But I feel like if I lose a trade today, like, I'm gonna be extra pissed. So I'm gonna call it a day here. I'm gonna call it a week. And I think tomorrow what I want to do is just go over all the trades that I took. Why did I have a 100% win rate? Normally this doesn't happen, so I definitely have to review it. I mean, last week could have been a 100% win rate, but I got breaked even a lot. Yeah. Well, alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you're gonna trade, I'd be careful. I'd follow my rules, and I'd try to end the week off on a good note, you know? So that's what I'm doing myself. Like, I could risk it for the biscuit, but I want to end the week off good. So that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I'll see you guys on either tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, then I'll see you on Monday.